despite the fact that, this is a world that I don't really have any context for. I don't know who these characters are. I don't know what their story is. I don't know exactly what they're doing. But there's a lot of really deft world building sort of going on here, that I think is very impressive given the format. It's a lot of disparate elements that are coming together and sort of weaving a particular feeling and a particular like sense of, like, I'm not without a sense of the rules of this world or the sensibilities of this world, even though I don't really know anything about it, and I think that's very cool. It actually, one thing it put me in mind of really strongly was the 2000 film The Cell. It just a lot of similar imagery, and yeah, it's that's a, I mean, that is by way of a very positive comparison. One thing I thought was particularly cool was the choice to use throat singing as the score or soundtrack to this piece. I thought that was really inspired and did a lot to set the overall mood.
In 3 minutes and 45 seconds, the creators do such a great job of creating a visually compelling world with so many different elements and so many different moving parts. The camera work was spectacular. The different angles, the creator clearly has a point of view and a vision, from the different sweeping angles and the beautiful editing. I thought the choreography, in that the red sequence with like the animated like tenement housing, was outstanding, and the makeup and the costume design, the juxtaposition of the really intricate and meticulous costume and makeup with like the digital rendering of this like computer generated world was so cool to watch, and even more cool when it's in motion. I thought for everything, the tiniest details, from like the color contacts to the makeup on the skin, and the different all of the different costumes and the different the suits that you saw in the spinning wheel gave so many a teaser of so many other different worlds and renderings that we could possibly see done by this creator. I'm really excited to see what other work they have, because from the very beginning with the ominous drums and the vocal humming, everything felt very futuristic, but also really almost an evocative type of horror. I thought that the leaders had amazing physicality, and again, the choreography that was performed and paired with like the really clean editing did a really great job and made that entire sequence really fun to watch.
Visually, it was really great. I think there's a lot of fun editing that you did in here and different effects to create this like mystical world inside his head. I think it was paced really well. I think it was such an interesting and colorful idea. And then visually it was very interesting and colorful, obviously. But I think it all just came together really well. Like, I think, like, I wouldn't have thought of that. I think it was a really beautiful short, a really interesting concept, and it was executed really well.
Visually, it was a very stunning film. I thought the movement of the camera with the fluid motion of the elements on screen worked really well together. The film was hard to look away from with all the color and movement and the interesting makeup and costumes, especially used with the CGI in the background, was really cool and very unique, hard to look away from. The music also really helped with this tone, and it went so well with the movement on screen that the whole thing felt like a dance, with the CGI, with the characters dancing and the movement of the camera. It all together worked really well and felt like a dance and an art piece in and of itself.
Cool use of colors and the music and the sound effects. It had this like eerie and sort of ritualistic feel. And I loved the end where everything was in his hands, and then you come up and he was basically meditating and all of this was in his mind. I just thought it was a really cool take on that, and just really interesting and neat. Just the word neat keeps popping into my head just because it was just so cool to watch. And I really like the effects at the end on the person at the end with the silver. Everything just looks so clean and crisp, and I really liked the colors and the cinematography. Just really well done, really neat to watch.
Loved the imagery. I loved seeing, an independent film like this with such a, so much animation, and it's, hybrid live action animation piece. Very cool in style and pacing and everything. And love the music. And the lead performer did a great job, great screen presence, as well as really, a great dancer as well, great performer. So yeah, no, really, just this whole feeling of kind of going into different realms, and then realms within realms, and then we have this one overseeing omniscient being who's overseeing it all at the end. Yeah, it was really very, very cool.
This had amazing special effects mixed with what I believe is great animation. The music is really the music really gets you into the vibe. I think it also speaks of redemption and atonement. They have beautiful makeup as well, and it's just a very short film, but very well, greatly done.